Hello, my name is Emily McCoy, and I'm going to show you how to take a bunch of nonfiction books and sort them into categories. So first of all, I've taken some of the basic categories that you could possibly put nonfiction into, and I've written them on these pieces of paper. So first of all, I have religion, psychology, languages, so different languages, Spanish, French, Portuguese, Tagalog, science, the arts, history and geography, math, social sciences, and biography. So a biography is a book about a real life person and the story of their life. So I'm going to start taking some of these books and I'm going to start putting them into these particular categories. So the first one we have is Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl. So when we look to the left, you can see that that has a biography sticker on it. So that one has actually easily helped me figure that one out. Then I have a manatee here. So this would be about an animal. So this is considered science. Joan of Arc and the 100-Year War. This one is also considered a biography. Time, Great People of the 20th Century. This one, even though it's not just about one person, this is a compilation or a bunch of explanations of different people. And so this is considered a biography compilation. All right, then you have waste management. Now this one could be put into two different categories, and you would have to decide where you would want to put that, okay? Because waste management talks about garbage and like what to do with garbage. So it technically could be considered a science because how we take care of garbage and there's a science to that, but it's also a social problem. So as a librarian, you would have to decide where you would want to put that particular book. So I'm going to stick it in social sciences just because that is definitely a problem that the world deals with nowadays. Okay, War and Peace and all that jazz. All right, that one is history. So I'm going to put that in the history section. All right, the Cyclops. This is mythology. Now I could technically put this in fiction because the story of the Cyclops is a fictional story. So I would actually put that one aside and put that one in fiction. Taoism. All right, world religions. So naturally, I'm going to put this one in religion. All right. The Best Guide to Meditation. All right, so meditation is considered a psychology or a study of the mind kind of thing. So I am going to put that one in psychology. All right, then we have classic cakes. Now cooking could technically be considered a social science, but it could also be considered an art. So you would have to decide if you want cooking to be an art or if it's a social science, because everyone cooks, right, as part of how the world works. So, all right, digital photography. This one is going to go in the arts because photography is considered an art. All right, the story of philosophy. Now this one, I would put this under psychology because it has to do with the mind. Okay, physical geography. Now the word geography is in the history and geography section. But the geography and history, the way that those two are connected is geography is all about where things are located, where the physical geography is more about the actual land itself. So I'm going to put that in science. All right, life in the South during the Civil War, that is considered history. And I have the E-Guide to Rocks and Minerals, that's considered a science topic. All right, ballet, that is considered an art form. So we're going to put that right there. Where have all the bees gone? All right, that is a science topic. Okay, if the sharks disappeared, this is also considered a science topic. Now, yeah, that would be more science. All right, the Children's World Cookbook. All right, so I decided to put the cakes into a arts category. So this is also considered a cookbook, but it kind of talks about what different kids eat in different places around the world. And so to me, this is kind of more of a social thing. So you would once again have to decide. So I think what I would do is I would put it in social science, and I think I will take the cake book out and put it over here. All right. Music composition. That is going to be under the arts, because music is considered an art. Water and other liquids. That is definitely science. Okay, Albert Einstein. So that's actually a person, right? But as I look through this book, it's not actually a story about his life. It's actually essays that he wrote on science. So I'm going to put that in the science section. Okay, hurricane and tornadoes. All right, this one is also considered science. Okay, how to win friends and influence people. So this is definitely a psychology book, because it talks about, all right, flyers and flying machines. All right, so this is where you would decide as a librarian, do you want to put it in social sciences? Do you want it to be of a science, because there's a lot of science in flight? Or do you want to create your own section that's called planes, trains, and automobiles? So it would cover anything that moves. Excuse me. So that would be something you would decide. Okay, so I think I'm going to start my own little section. And you could even call it things that move. It's totally up to you. Okay, so cars would go in that section. Napoleon, his biography. Excuse me. Rich Dad, Poor Dad for teens. Now that is considered social science, because how we deal with money is definitely a social science. All right, as well as the things that we wear, that's considered a social science. And a suitcase, we know that this is a true story about something during World War II, so that's going to go under history. Magnetism, That's going to go in science. Exploring space, science. Now these 3 books we talked about in another video, but these are all, they look like they're fiction, but they're actually nonfiction, true stories. So you can decide whether you want to put them in biographies because they're about a person, or if you want to keep them in history and geography so that they are in the section about that particular part-time period of history. So you would decide on that one. Okay, Earth. This one is about science. All right. So now I have some sports books. Okay, I've got hockey, football, and golf. Now in my mind, I know that kids like to play sports, and so I think that I would like to start a sports section. So I'm going to do sports, and I'm going to put these 3 books in a sports section. All right, playing chess. That is kind of an art, but it's also like a social science. So you would decide ultimately where you'd want to put that one. Watercolor, still life. That is an art. Okay, learn to draw. This is also considered an art. Modern art, that kind of tells you right there. And NBA basketball. All right, so that one's going to go in my sports section. So you can see how I have taken a bunch of my nonfiction books and I have put them in particular categories. So that is an example of what to do as you are sorting through. As you can see, I've got my religion, psychology, arts. Maybe I would just call this one moving or things that move. I'm not sure. Sports, history, social science, science, arts, and biography. Now, if it gets to that there are too many books in one section, you can break those books down. So science, for example, you could do earth science, you can do astronomy or space as a section, you can do physics as a section, you could do weather as a section, animals as a section. So it's kind of up to you how you decide you want to organize the library. Hopefully this has been helpful, and I appreciate your time, and I hope that you make it a great day.